Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Lee. Lee is from Essex in England, in the UK. So let's see what Lee has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Lee, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
No problem.
So tell me, how's your weekend going so far?
Busy, not very restful. Meetings, training, meetings, preparing for other work, but productive.
Amazing.
Yours?
It's been great as well, actually. I love being productive. I love being busy. I think it fits my my personality. I love being doing something that brings me the best. I think that's the best part to me. So tell me, so far, what has been the highlight of your Saturday, your weekend?
Probably just having a productive meeting before this about my feature film.
Okay.
Just discussing the VFX. So yeah, it's all coming together nicely. So that's been the best part so far. And then of course now having another interview.
Amazing.
With yourself.
So tell me, where are you from, Lee?
I'm from England, Essex originally. But I have lived around the world and the country. I've moved quite a lot to places like Thailand, Spain. I lived in Kent as well for many years. But I'm based in Essex and from here originally.
And why? What's the best joy of living Essex, in your opinion?
Well, where I am, it has the coastline and it has the countryside, and it's also 50 minutes to London. So for work, it's great because obviously all the work is in London and for filming. Um, we've got the coast and we've got the countryside, so you're not landlocked, which is nice.
Yeah, I think it's great for you to be in a place where you have contact with nature. You have you can take like half an hour of your day, just go for a walk, or do something that's going to be connected to nature. I think it makes a difference for sure in our daily basis, for sure.
Right.
Right, so let's start the interview talking about your career as a fitness trainer. Yeah, I was checking your profile, I was checking your business. So walk me through how everything started.
So when I was living in Thailand as a teacher, actually teaching English to children, I wanted to start a brand for my fitness because obviously I'm wearing the brand here, Amiga One Fitness. That I could cater to people from all walks of life. So I started to teach foreign teachers, local Thai people, and also the children, doing sports coaching, swimming, football, that sort of thing. And then it kind of evolved. I started to make healthy foods and products like that and sold them to people. Because I always wanted a brand. I didn't just want to be a personal trainer or a coach. I kind of wanted a brand that I could sell other services and products as like a business. And I had the time in Thailand to actually be away from the distractions of the UK and the rat race, and I could be more creative and develop the brand I wanted. So I launched it. I launched it in Thailand, funny enough, and then I've kept the brand going ever since. But over the years, it's evolved as I've been presenting on my channel. I've been making films. I've been doing this, doing that. Lots of different things, but all under the same umbrella. And everything is always sports related, so sports commentary as well, and things like that.
I see. So it's a business where you can connect, or other people that can connect with you, not just for fitness, and also about other business involved with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I like to work with people one to one, normally, but yeah, there's always other services or partnerships that I can offer and utilize with other people or businesses and brands. So, and obviously I use my fitness brand as an umbrella for multiple things.
I see. I get your point. I think it's amazing for us to to run a business where you can focus on different things. Of course, there is a main focus. However, there are other umbrellas that can somehow be connected as well.
Yeah. So I find fundamentally that the business has always been about mentoring, teaching and motivation.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, Lee, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Okay.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Um, let's say something interesting then. So something interesting about me would be that I am ambidextrous, and this is very handy for me in martial arts, and it's also very handy in screen combat.
Okay.
I'm able to use swords with both hands, and I can also, when I do martial arts, punch and kick with both hands and both legs. So it's you know, as you know, not many people are ambidextrous. You've got mainly right-handed, a few left-handed, but ambidextrous not so much. So it helps me in everyday life as well. So it's a handy thing to have. Yeah.
What's the name of that? I love the. Actually, I know that, but I didn't know the name of it in English. What's the name of that?
Ambidextrous. Yeah, so it's
Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous. Ambidextrous.
My God, you just made my day. I learned something new. I didn't know that. And actually,
You're welcome.
My mom is like that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
she is. I remember her like writing letters back in Brazil, and suddenly, I was going to somewhere. I will come back. She was doing something for the other hand. I was like, Mom, can you do with both hands? I said, yes, I can. I was like, oh my God, how can you do that?
Yes, it's a very handy skill, but not so common. I don't meet many people who can utilize it like that. So yeah,
love it. Made my day. I learned something new. Great. Lee, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Of course, yeah, happy to.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just first to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question is, good question. What does happiness mean to you?
Waking up every day and not worrying about anything.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you think happiness is a choice?
50-50.
Why is that?
I think everyone is able to displace themselves and think positively and think happy thoughts. But there are, of course, external factors that are affecting that, and you can't always suppress or deflect those factors. So, yes, it's primarily chosen, but external forces affect that. Even if you try to push it out and be the most optimistic person there is, there are always these things that come to you every day that sometimes can impact that happiness. But of course, if you try to remain positive, happiness is still a choice. Yeah.
Tell me, when have felt the happiest?
When I had my son. Yeah. Yeah. My son is nearly 5. He'll be 5 in October. Like most parents, I don't know if you have children, but most parents would always say the moment they touch their child for the first time, feeling that love, overwhelming love, that was the happiest of my life. Yeah.
Tell me the day when he was born. Tell me the moment, like how you felt when you saw him for the very first time. Walk me through of the day if you can.
So he had to be. They had to intervene. It wasn't a natural birth. He was quite difficult. He wouldn't come out, and but when he finally did, and I saw him, he was as I imagined. But when I touched him for the first time, that was the real moment where I was like, "This is a real person," and it was a very strange moment because he was really real. You know, because obviously just used to being in the stomach and seeing scans and. It was that moment when I saw him and then touched him. I was like, it was a very, you know, kind of not out of body experience, but just a very random sensation of, you know, mixed emotions and feelings. So,
wow. And through those 5 years, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from him?
Probably just to, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he always, sometimes he can tell that daddy's very busy and daddy's got lots of things on his head. Sometimes he makes me stop and remember just to have fun, in embrace. And I actively, I'm very conscious of not saying no in those moments, because
Mm-hmm.
one day he will say to me, he won't ask me to play with him anymore. He won't analyze the world as a child anymore. He'll look at it differently, and he reminds me to have fun and ultimately not over analyze things. Just take it as it is. Yeah.
By the way, he's feeling okay, because I remember last weekend he wasn't feeling very well. He's okay now?
Yeah, he's much better. Thank you for asking. Yeah,
Great.
thank you.
Lee, I don't have a child, but actually I have a 5-year-old godson. Yeah, like he's the son of my best friends, and they live in Canada. Actually, like next month, I'm going for his birthday, for his.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
It's interesting saying that when you mention about, before you saw your son for the first time, somehow you kind of, you could picture, and always wants to have a child. It's something that's like when I was 18, 19, I always wanted. And it's so interesting, because when I thought about, like, when I could picture having a child, I'm not joking, my godson is exactly the same look. Like, my God, I remember when I saw him for the first time, I was like, the picture was like, oh my God, exactly how I picture when I was, when you think about someone, you imagine, you make a picture in your head. And when I saw him, is exactly, and I'm gonna share with you the very first time when we met in person, because he's a COVID child. He was born just before the COVID. So for 1.5 years, nobody, my friend, he's French, so he couldn't come to Europe. Nobody could go to visit. So FaceTime all the time, seeing him like growing up, FaceTime, and of course a baby. So, sometimes he'll look at me and I was like, who is that? Anyway, so the very first time when I went there to Canada, I think he was 1.5 years, more or less. And when I arrived there, he was already sleeping, because it was like 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. He was already sleeping. So I went to his bedroom. I just saw him sleeping. So in the morning, I said to my friend, when he wakes up, when you realize, just send me a text. So I go all the way up to the third floor to see him, to meet him. So, so in the morning, my friend sent me a test, and I went all the way up. And I was a bit nervous, because I didn't know how he would react, because he just saw his parents, so he never saw me in real person. So I went to I went to the room, and he was kind of make some noise, like talking a little bit to himself. And suddenly I was like, Gabi, and he looked at me like for 3-4 seconds, and he put his arms like that for me to pick him up. Goosebumps. Wow. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, like literally. And he started talking to me, like making, like he speaks French, yeah. So he started talking to me, like, so I went all the way down for this breakfast, and he was explaining to me where to take his things, and I couldn't understand. And I was like, my God. And my best friend, he was like, oh my God, William, it's incredible how he literally connects with you without seeing for the very first time. He knew me. So yeah, I just want to share this moment with you. That's
it's an instinctive thing as well, isn't it? Children can sense a good and bad person, and I think he obviously he just recognized that in you as well. Separate to, as much we probably still don't understand a baby's brain, the images of you many times on video definitely would have had some impact. Yeah, so that's nice. Yeah. Nice.
He calls me Uyam.
With a French accent, yeah.
So, next question. Okay, next question for you is, what's the best gift have you ever received, and why you consider that, besides your son, of course? Doesn't need to be material, could be sentimental as well, something that's touched your heart.
Yeah, probably just my partner bought me a very nice hoodie with like embroidery with me and my son on it when our first fishing trip.
Wow.
And it's such a simple thing,
yeah,
but it means a lot to me, because obviously it's our first fishing trip together, and it's really beautiful, and the way it's in the hoodie, and it showed me how much he knows I value and love him, and I wear it with pride because it's a practical thing to use, and it's just, for me, he is my world, and she knows that, and it's a very sentimental thing. It's a cute thing to have for, like, it was for Father's Day actually, and he obviously understands it now, so they designed it together, and it was a nice surprise. So yeah, that's probably the most recent thing for me that I thought, yeah, she really thought hard about that. It was a cute thing to do, and it meant a lot to me because obviously how much he means to me. So, yeah.
And how did your path cross for the first time, if you can share, you and your partner?
What, for my partner?
Yeah, how did your paths cross?
Oh well, I hadn't used dating apps for a long time, and I obviously, after sadly separating from his mother, we're still obviously co-parents together, 50-50, 50-50 co-parents. Me and my partner met on a dating app, and ironically, she's from the north of England, sorry, and she lived in London for more than 10 years and moved to Essex because she wanted to have more for her money. Okay. And she told me that she'd kind of given up with men in Essex, and then she met me. So,
wow.
Yeah, we kind of, it's one of those weird ones where it's the right time. I think if we'd met when we were younger, we wouldn't have been suitable. We're the right age, and we're in different headspaces as adults. And it's interesting, when in the UK, people are quite different from different parts of the UK. I can imagine, like most countries. And she's the first person I've dated from the north of the UK, and she couldn't be more different to southern women. And it's quite refreshing and quite nice. So that's our paths crossed in a modern way. I used to, when I was younger, date the old-fashioned way, meet someone in a bar or perhaps through friends, mutual friends. But this is where a situation where technology actually worked.
Totally.
It wasn't just one of those seedy kind of not great experience for most people. It was actually a good experience. It brought us together, which, to be honest, if it hadn't, we would probably never have met, even though we live in the same town. So, wow. Yeah, it was a nice way to be brought together by the universe, shall we say, in a very cheesy way, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, she's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say? She's watching.
Well, ironically, she's in Canada right now, as well. Yeah, she's on a business trip for work. So, yeah, I would just say, I love you and I miss you. So.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Where's about in Canada?
Is it Calgary or something?
Yeah, it's close to. It's the other side. I go to Montreal. It's the other side of.
Okay. Yeah. She went to Toronto last time, and now Calgary, because they've got a lot of. She works in insurance. There's a lot of insurance people out there.
Amazing. But, good. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Before the next question, Lee, tell me, what's the biggest joy of running a fitness business? What do you like the most about it?
So for me, like, exercise and sports have been my passion since I was a child. I've constantly worked within a sport and health realm since I was a child. I've studied sports science for 8 years. So for me, it's about sharing that passion and teaching others as much as I can to hopefully have an impact on them, because there's nothing negative that can come from trying to be a health advocate. I preach no drugs, no surgery, no gimmicks. It's just health, fitness, mindset, all these other factors. And it's quite rewarding when I see it, particularly in my younger clients, like teenagers, and also the elderly, because these two groups of people are very vulnerable, and they're very easily led and swayed. Old people tend to think, I've passed it now, so I don't care. Younger people have all the potential, but they're just not always having the right direction and focus. So it's nice to have an impact there. And that's very important for me, because I've always been a bit of a dad anyway. I like to I like to help people. I like to teach. I like to preach a little bit, but
Right.
it's always coming from a good place, and that's the best thing about it. And obviously, with the internet, with YouTube, podcasts, my website, social media, I'm able to do more there as opposed to just meeting people only and having impact locally only. Yeah.
Saying that, what's the biggest joy of being Lee? What do you like the most about being you?
I like the fact that I'm fully autonomous and in my own schedule in life. So I'm in charge. There are times when obviously in all capacities I work for people, but
Okay.
I'm working with them. So it's a collaborative process, and I enjoy having my input and then stepping away, um, and calling the shots, because I don't like to feel that I'm being held back. So as an independent person, a self-employed person, I'm able to truly live the life I want to. There are, of course, limitations at
Yeah.
times, and restrictions with, let's say, finances or childcare, other
Yeah.
illness and whatnot. But ultimately, for me, I'm the captain of my ship. That's the best part of my life, and that's why I've enjoyed. As soon as I finished university and my work abroad, and I started this business, I've just focused on making sure I maintain that
Mhm.
life of self-governance and exploring and discovering and learning, because I'm still learning as well, many things. So I wouldn't be able to do that if I was an employee. That's what's the best thing about what I'm doing by being self-employed.
And you always have this mindset way of being, or there was a moment in your life that things turn around?
I've always felt this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoy working with people and I enjoy having an impact, but I also want to do my own things. So I'm quite independent and always have been. Even as a child, at school I would organise things, charities. I'd get involved in things that most children probably would be interested in,
Uh-huh.
because I was very independent. And I think it's one of those things. Certain attributes in humans, they're born with them,
Totally.
or they are exposed to things and it develops quickly. And I believe that's how I was, because I've always been very much entrepreneurial, driven, and very focused in what I want to do, as opposed to having my life planned out by someone else. Yeah.
Is your star sign Scorpio or not?
No, it's actually Aries.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Very good.
My brother is Scorpio. What's your star sign, by the way?
I'm Scorpio.
You're
That's
Scorpio.
why
Okay.
that's why I'm asking, because I always have this personality as well of, I'm always on the go. I have my personality always being like willpower. I left Brazil when I was 19-year old on my own, coming all the way to Europe. So imagine. So
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah.
I always had this mindset. Which day is your brother?
He's the fifth.
Okay, I'm 17th of November.
17th. Okay, yeah. So he's very different to you, though. I have met many people with similar personalities and traits of star signs, but he's definitely not a Scorpio. You'd think he's very different.
But the thing is, we have two star. The first star sign is the date when you were born, and the second one is the time when you were born. So some time of your life you lived, you live more. Your personality is more connected with the other one. For example, my first one is Scorpio, the second one is Sagittarius. Yeah,
Okay.
and so I feel like I still have this Scorpio personality. I'm very independent. I love being on my own. I'm very intuitive as well. Intense, like Scorpio are very intense. Like it's you
Definitely.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have this intensity, you know what I mean? At the same time as well, which balance me. It's like the Sagittarius, they are more, in a way, calm, in a way. So they kind of, balance. That's what I think nowadays. If you talk to me 10 years ago, I'll be like crazy, talk like that. Nowadays, I'm still intense, but I kind of somehow I watch myself. So I think it's a little bit of Sagittarius. Yeah.
Yeah. Intense is a word that people used to describe me a lot.
Yeah. You might
Yeah.
have like a moon or something Scorpio,
Yeah.
you have something for sure, a connection there.
Yeah.
Right. Next question is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
I think fundamentally in terms of what they want in terms of commitment.
Hmm.
Because there are many, as you know, situationships nowadays,
Yes.
which leads to a lot of unhappy futures, wasted time. I think people should always be very clear on living together, marriage, and children. Once those three things have been discussed, then if you have a relationship, is it going to just be a coasting one or a development one? Because ultimately, there's always one person that wants to get married or wants more. So not always, but from my experience, speak to people, the man or the woman always wants to get married. So, like I said about situationships, people need to be clear that they're not just biding their time. So I've made it clear to my current partner, I don't want any more children. She's fine with that. Yeah. I've said to her, yes, marriage, one day. So she's accepted that. Living together, I said 50-50. Yeah. And that's based on marriage. So, but we've been clear and we've not been deflecting and we've not been going, maybe, not sure, just been very yes or no kind of thing, or at least open to communication. And that's, probably the key thing, just having open dialogue with one another, which for most people is not always comfortable. It can seem quite awkward and direct.
Yeah.
I think that if you are direct, at least you know where you stand. Yeah.
I get your point. It's clarity as well. You're just being yourself. You're literally, okay, you know what? That's me. That's my. Of course, it can change as well. In future will change every day. However, that's how you feel right now, and that's how you present yourself. You're being real, and I think it's a good thing. I agree with you. Sometimes it can be a bit intimidating. Oh my God, I'm not sure if that. However, you are just being honest, and sometimes we adjust ourselves to the situation. However, we have our, things that we embrace, that you think, okay, you know what, that's exactly how I feel right now. Exactly, I want to follow myself the way I am. I get your point.
Especially if, some people are religious, so they have different beliefs there, and those things have been instilled in them and taught for generations in their families. So people have to be understanding of that as well. So for me, I think, like you said, clarity is very important.
The main key is the communication is the key.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
I try. I'm always trying to improve. I'm very much like more in the moment type of person rather than premeditating things.
Right.
Or I'm very spontaneous, so it will just suddenly come to me, oh, I should buy some flowers. Yeah. Or, oh, I should do that because I see something and then my mind goes, actually, let's be romantic. But I'd probably say, compared to most men who maybe try harder, I need to improve. But I do try.
At least you are trying and you know it. So it's halfway of, the...
Yeah.
I like that. Amazing.
It's important, but I think, again, it's very easy to get a little bit complacent sometimes with people. So yeah, I think the more I think about it critically, the more likely my subconscious will keep reminding me. And then I have random moments, things like where you write a note to your loved one on the fridge, or you write them a message, or you send them flowers randomly, or just something spontaneous, but you've kind of had little thoughts about it. So I think it's important, and I'm trying. So yeah, I try.
Good. I like that. You try.
Yeah.
3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
You like dancing, Lee?
No, I do not like dancing. I'm a little bit too serious for dancing, but I try, especially for my son, because he doesn't want me just to stand there like a statue.
Good.
So yeah, but I would probably say I look like a dad dancing.
I see.
Yeah.
I think dancing, there are no rules. I think people sometimes they are shy to dance because they think that it must be this way or that way. I think dancing, it's about you feel the music, close your eyes, feel like you're alone in the room, and that's it. You just move yourself. I think that's what I call dancing. You don't need to be a professional or have weight. But I get your point. But I'm Brazilian. Brasilia, you become a football player or become a dancer. So that's the two ways.
Yeah. I'd probably say like I'm more in tune with the music with singing. I quite like to sing and like like just play music
Right.
and be kind of in my own head with it as opposed to the dancing. But yeah, I obviously love music and whatnot. But of all the things I've taken myself out of my comfort zone in life, I would say dancing's the one that still have a little bit of a barrier with. Yeah, because my partner, she'd probably say, "Yeah, I'm still trying to make him dance with me." So yeah, that's room for improvement.
Amazing. Yeah. Next question is, what's something that you always wanted to do but you're scared of?
Skydive.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really scared of heights. I have in my acting and stunt training done high falls, 8 to 10 meters, which was scary in itself, backwards and things like that. So I've overcome fear of heights there, but yeah, skydiving, that's something I still want to do, but I've still got a little bit of anxiety attached to that. So yeah.
I'm exactly the same like you. It's something that gets my attention. I think must be amazing, the feeling of doing it, but I'm not there yet. I think, however, I had an interview here with a skydive instructor for the US, from New York, and he said something very interesting that I didn't know about it, and it made me more comfortable about it. He told me that when you have the thing, the track on your back, there's always, of course, they had extra one, and it's always one of them always going to open. For example, if the first one kind of doesn't, for some reason, doesn't open, when your body gets certain time, you know what I mean, automatically the other one is gonna open. Yeah. And he said it's really it kind of, it can hurt a little bit, because imagine the pull yourself all the way, you know what I mean. So this kind of moment, but he said to me, it's going to open. So it's not with the technology of the it's never going to have a moment that's not going to open. However, even listen to that, he had so many jumps, like thousands, hundreds of them. He does with people, he does like his job. But so he told me that. I was like, okay, it put me a little bit more comfortable, but I'm not there yet. That's for sure.
I think it's what sometimes in life, all of a sudden you just have that change in you and you go, okay, I'm ready now.
Yeah, totally. I get it. It's the same with tattoo for me. For example, I can see your tattoo here. Tattoo for me, it's always, I see beauty in tattooing other people. I think when people express themselves through tattoos, I find amazing, and beautiful. I think it's a way of expressing yourself. But I never wanted to do, because I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm gonna get sick of it, and I want to change. However, the older I get, I start considering now. For example, my godson, I always want to put his name somewhere, like, somewhere discreet, but I can see. So the older I get, I start considering. And that's how ourselves, we're getting older, we understand more about life, about ourselves as well. Sometimes some barriers you can break somehow.
Yeah, great, yeah.
What's the meaning of life for you, Lee?
I think it's the pursuit of finding, like you said previously about happiness, trying to find what makes you happy. For me, what I see as making me happy is being successful in my chosen path of life with career, and raising my son now. For me, they're the only two things that matter. Well, obviously I have my partner, and obviously I want to be happy with her. But let's say I was a single man, I only care about my continued growth with my passion in the creative world and the fitness world, and my son. Like to raise a good human in the world. He'll go out there on his own one day, and elements of me will come out, shine through in him, and he'll have positive impact on the people he comes into contact with, friends, partners, so forth. So that's the meaning of life to me. If I can have an impact on the world through what I do in life, great. I don't want to just live to pay bills and have no legacy. So it's creating a legacy and a memory, because remember, we're not here forever. I would like to be remembered as someone who most people respected and loved and cared for and will be missed. So yeah, it's trying to go through life, and you know, that's it really. There's not really much more to it. In terms of, if you look at science fiction, if there was a way that I could ascend to a higher plane, maybe that as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, as you're talking about, living abroad and also have experience living in other parts of the world, what Thailand has taught you? When you think about your experience in there, when your time in there, what's something that the Thai culture brought to your life that you are very grateful for?
Well, just how happy they were with not much, like, because of course there are wealthy people there. There are in every country, but the majority of them had less, didn't want more, and they were happy, and it was kind of intoxicating at times, because I kind of felt that maybe I'll stay there because I kind of like that joy from not much. They had simple lives, and they had beautiful nature around them, and didn't have to be flashy. They weren't stressed. They had family time. They ate healthy foods, like they had good, a good life. And it taught me, when I went back to the UK, to try to still not be obsessed with making money and chasing, I don't keep up the Joneses, because they really didn't care. There obviously were some type people that would look at you based on what you was wearing and whatnot, but a cultural thing, they're very serious about how smart you present yourself. But for the majority of them, they were just nice people who all got along and had a simple life, and the kids were happy, the adults were happy. So it just reminded me that I can be happy with little. I don't need to have much to be happy. That's only going to impact me if I feel that way and I let social media change my mindset there. So now, of course, I could want and try to attain more in life, a mansion, I don't know, silly things like that. But I don't need it. I don't want it. If I mentioned about my feature film, and I progress with other work I'm doing in the TV and film world, I make millions and millions one day. Does that mean I want to suddenly change my whole lifestyle? No, I still want to keep it simple, and that's what I'm trying to remember from Thailand. Keep things simple. I don't need to have the newest car. I don't need to have the newest this. I just want things that work for me and are reliable. Yeah.
I get your point. I think those life experiences just ground you, just ground you, and you understand more about life. And of course, when you get in a position where you have some power or some, somehow money, which is good, it's not bad to have money. I think it's great. You work hard. I think things come, it's a reflection of your work. However, how you deal with that, how you ground yourself, it's good to be in those places for you to understand more. It makes you a better person. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I want my son to also realize, because I'll take him there one day where I used to live, and I want him to see the difference and contrast, and then be more grateful for what he has.
Totally.
Then not wanting more. So yeah.
Amazing. Good. Next question is gonna be very easy, this one. What's your favorite weekend activity?
If it's on my own, I would say training. Yeah, spending as long as I want in the gym. Archery, because I do archery as well. And maybe seeing some friends. If not, just chilling. I do like to be at home. Not everyone likes to be at home; they find it boring. But I'm not. I don't drink alcohol. I'm not really someone who goes to parties or anything like that. So I just like to be in my own space. So I like that. Makes me happy. Just training and being at home, being boring. If I'm with my son, however, going out, enjoying the outside world if the weather's good, nature-wise, and just making memories of him, playing with him, going to the gym with him, teaching him new skills, whatever it may be. So that they're like the two perfect weekends for me. Doesn't need to be much, just simple stuff. Yeah.
So you mentioned about working film industry. What's your working right now? Can you share? Can you talk about it?
Yeah. So this year I've started filming my first feature film.
Wow.
So it's an action horror zombie film, and this is going to be a game changer for the zombie subgenre. It's what I've written and what I've created. Has never been seen, never been heard, never been made. So hopefully zombie and horror fans will be big thumbs up to that. The process started last year when I made my first short film, which was 12 minutes long. That was an action film, very English gangsters, a lot of fighting, a lot of stunts, because my background is acting and stunts. And I'm a creative. Even though I'm a sportsman, I'm a creative as well. I've always been very arty, and I like writing and telling stories. So I'm now telling stories in another industry. And like Rocky, who wrote Rocky, Stallone, who wrote Rocky, sorry, he knew he was the right man for the role, and he had a story to tell. I'm doing the same thing, and we've currently shot 35 minutes out of the 70-minute feature film length. So the plan is to have it finished for next summer, and fingers crossed we can get in the cinemas. So I don't want it to go straight to online streaming services only. I believe this film, with the research I've done and the podcast I've done, is so unique. It will have a standout quality that people would pay money to see at the cinema. And then, of course, then go to streaming platforms after. We've had a few chats with distribution companies who are interested, a few in America. So it's looking very good. I'm the main protagonist, I'm the main villain, but the story follows 3 different groups of people who all come together at the end, and you find a lot more out there. So if people are interested in hearing more, looking at BTS, watching the trailer, you can just look for us on Instagram, Dead Zero Shorts. It's currently listed as a short, but it's a feature. It's also on YouTube, so you can check Dead Zero Short as well. The film is called Dead Zero. So that's what I'm working on there. So you can also see my other film, which is Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay.
Obviously, nothing to do with the original Jekyll and Hyde. We just use the same title. That's also on my YouTube channel, which I'll give you the link to if you don't mind sharing with your subscribers. So if you like horror and you like action, you like stunts, you like great makeup, practical effects, this is what you'll see in my film, my new film. The VFX is minimal. I'm not a fan of too much CGI, so I like practical effects, and there's a lot of great practical effects and SFX within the movie. So yeah.
Let me know when it's out. I'm a movie lover. I go to the cinema every weekend. I love movies. It's my therapy of the week. So let me know when it's out. I'd love to check it out for sure. Okay?
Definitely, yeah. I invite you to the screener.
Yes.
Yeah.
Recording, okay? Cannot go back now.
No, I forgot to mention, obviously, I'm the producer, co-writer,
okay.
One of the main financiers, of course, and then obviously the supporting lead, because I didn't want this film to be all about me. I've given a lot of time to the other actors to really shine through in their performances, but of course it all comes to me, the mastermind, at the end.
Amazing. Let me know. Look forward to
it. I will do.
Amazing. Last question, ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Last one. Before the last question, tell me what Omega-1 Fitness stands out compared with other fitness business around the globe. Tell me something unique about it.
There's something unique as of today. I don't use AI. So everything that you read, you watch, you have sent to you as a client, I have always taken the time to manually research, plan, and write that out for you.
Wow.
The world we live in today has become more and more autonomous, lazy, repetitive, carbon copied. That is not me. So fundamentally, if, for example, my public profile increased so much, I wouldn't have the time to deal with client requests online on my website and new signups, I would not take the money because I want them to have the personal connection to me. A lot of coaches and trainers can say they do that, but when they've got more clients than they can manage, there's only so many people you can manage as a human. That's not true. They are cheating those clients. They are lying, and they are not providing a personal experience. A lot of it is just made through software, and AI. So that's the uniqueness for me. From the moment I started to today, which is now 10 years later since I formed this brand, I still work with people one-to-one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great.
And always will. I always will.
Good to know. Very good. Last question is, who in your family you'd trade place with for a day if you could, and why? For any reason.
Probably my brother. My younger brother. I mentioned about before. He's a singer and an actor and writer. So I would love to be able to be in his body to sing how he does, because I can sound biased, but he has got a very strong, powerful voice. And when he sings, it gives me goosebumps. So I would love to be able to sing as him for one day. And I'd also like to learn how he delivers lines differently to me, because I'm an action actor, but he's a comedy actor. So he's comedy and drama. So it would be great to be in his mind and body to kind of learn how he delivers that talent and skill he has.
Wow. Yeah. I'd love to have him on the show, actually. Ask if he'd like to be part of the show. I'd love to have an interview with him.
I'll ask him. He might not be as confident as me, though, but I can try. Hopefully, maybe he might do it. The plan is in the future with him, I'm going to bring him in on my team, in my production company, and he will work with me as an actor. So yeah, hopefully you'll hear about him in the future, because he's one of those people that has got all the talent, but just no confidence to put himself out there.
I get it. So, yeah. Just need a push. He needs a push.
Yeah, he just needs a push. Yeah.
Amazing. Right, so not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay. Let's start with life.
What something's related to it?
Yeah, one word that comes to your mind when I say life.
A long life.
Money.
Needed but not wanted.
One word. Fear.
Fear, sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah. I have no fear.
Okay.
Or no, zero.
One word for family.
Everything.
Love.
Important.
Religion.
Interesting.
Sex.
Essential.
Politics.
Sketchy.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. I got there eventually in the one word, sorry.
All right. It was warm up in the beginning. It was a bit warm up in the beginning.
Yeah.
Friendship.
Needed.
Desire.
Risky.
Yes, I would say danger as well. Very danger.
Yeah.
Regret.
Worthless.
Success.
Important.
Wish.
Eternal.
Happiness.
I just said joy.
Joy, okay. One word for Essex.
Subjective.
One word for England.
Safe.
Amazing.
Yeah.
One word for an artist. You know, you are a director, you are a actor, all of that. If you could define in one word your career, what do you say?
Dreamer.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the last one now. Let me see here. Omega One Fitness, one word. You know, the name of your business. If you could define in one word, what that would be?
Refined.
Amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define Lee in one positive and one negative word only. What she would say?
She would say negative, serious, positive, caring.
If I would ask the same question to your brother, it would be the same answer?
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's play now Lee and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Lee, you can ask me a question now.
To ask you if you believe that what they keep speaking about on social media with regards to this unidentified objects traveling to Earth, do you believe that it's a spaceship, or do you just think it's fake news and AI? Have you come across it?
No, I haven't. Say again.
Elon Musk apparently mentioned the other day that it is what they believe to be a spaceship approaching Earth because its velocity and it keeps shifting pattern. But if you've not come across it, then you can't comment. Because there seems to be an ever increasing amount of more stuff coming out that with this, yeah. It's almost like Men in Black. Are they trying to slowly reveal that aliens are real and they exist and they're here, because there's more and more things popping up all the time,
right,
at quite an increasing rate. So but I don't know what you've seen or read of that, but I'm quite interested in the universe and space and things like that. So I'd wondered if you've seen that or not.
I can answer that, you know, based on my what I believe about that. Yeah, about, you know, other lives around space and the universe. I believe there's something there. You know, I think there is a higher power, something happening there, something that sometimes you see some videos of people, you know, sharing things that you cannot explain. You know, back in Brazil, I remember I had so many situations that. You know, that I couldn't even explain. Where I come from in Brazil, you know, during the nights, the sky is always very clear. You see things like, I remember seeing stars. I remember seeing things that, you know, I had even presence experience that I'm not going to go into details now because it takes long to explain. But I had a situation in my life that I cannot explain that. You know, I was a child, and for one moment, I was wondering if I was dreaming or not, but I wasn't. I'm sure I wasn't dreaming, because it was so real, you know. So I think there is something out there, you know, that you know, maybe people already know it, but they cannot even share because I don't know. Could be a lot of things involved, which I understand as well. However, I think there's something there. There's something that maybe, you know, we cannot even explain. I think that we're not prepared maybe to you know, to know. So I strongly believe there is something there. I don't know, good or bad, or something that's trying to show us something, or something that's maybe could be beneficial for us. Yeah, something for the world, for people, humanity could be anything. However, I strongly believe that there's something there. You know, there's something that's maybe, you know, we're not prepared to know or to understand, or maybe there's something happening behind the scene that maybe some specialists or people already, you know, they know more than me or you or other people. However, I think there's something, could be something that they could call aliens, they could call other names, they could call something, or, you know, there's something there that I think one day we're going to be able to understand more, maybe to be connected to more specific, more understanding about it. Yeah, that's a very genuine, you know, answer. It's something that, you know, based on my childhood, things that sometimes, you know, I totally, yeah, there was a moment I'm talking to you now, and I can visualize the situation that for me was like, wow, what's that? It's very interesting. Yeah, one day I'll tell you one day for sure.
Well, now we've spoken about it, your phone is no doubt listening to you. So I guarantee you some of those posts will come up on your social media as we've spoken about it.
Yeah,
Because it's likely to be listening to you, and it's going to show you that article, things I've mentioned. I'm sure you've had it where you spoke about something around people, and then all of a sudden it's on your phone as an advert. Yeah.
yeah. So interesting.
So maybe it'll come up, but yeah, it's good. It's good to hear. Yeah, I don't think it's a spaceship. If this article does come up, you come across it. From what they're saying, if it's true, it's interesting. It's very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Did you enjoy the interview, Lee?
Yeah, it's great. Thank you very much. Did you?
I did. Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks so much for
Pleasure.
Thanks for being so kind. Bring your, your energy to the show. I love to have passionate people here. I love to see people's eyes shine when they're talking about their family, about their business, about their career, about their life overall. I think it's amazing to see that. It brings me great energy. I could be here another hour just talking to you different topics because it's amazing. But thanks so much for taking the time. I know how busy we are.
You're welcome.
We are so busy with our own lives, and when someone take their time for us, I think it's very precious. So
yeah,
I appreciate you.
I'm very grateful as well that you reached out to me, and you helped to spread my message as well through you.
Totally.
But for me, I'm a collaborator, so every time I do things like this or podcasts, it's for both of our benefit, and I enjoy getting to know fellow creatives and, like you said, passionate people, because we all learn from one another.
Always.
And sometimes you can develop friendships as well. So it's which you wouldn't have been able to otherwise, which is another nice thing about it. So yeah, it's good to connect. It's good to connect with new people, because for me, it's all about expanding networks. So
absolutely. Be open-minded. It can take you in directions that you're not expecting. You know what I mean? The power of saying yes, it's very powerful. So yeah, I agree with you.
Completely agree.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Always invest in yourself.
Great.
Yeah.
Love it. Amazing. Thanks again. Enjoy your day. And
enjoy yours as well.
You too. And we keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
100%.
And if I don't see you before, I see you on the premiere of
I will invite you to the screen though.
Amazing. Take care, okay? Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.